you are listening to this, there's a good chance that you're a woman in the corporate world who feels stuck in your career and you're not sure how to advance. If that's the case, I want to let you know that I have an incredible resource that can help you. I created a promotion readiness checklist with you in mind. The checklist can help you pinpoint exactly what you need to work on to advance in your career. And the best part, it's completely free and it only takes 3 minutes to complete. I have helped countless women like you achieve their career goals, and I know exactly what it takes to succeed in the corporate world. My promotion readiness checklist is a perfect tool to help you get started on your path to success. You will find the link on the episode website, or you can go on nowomanleftbehind.com to take the quiz. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited to welcome you to the Unlock the Leader Within membership. This month, the month of June, we are tackling personal branding. And it's really important to talk about personal branding because this is how you are going to be presenting yourself to the world. So why is it important for you to understand what personal branding is? This is how other people are going to perceive you, and you want to know how other people are thinking of you when you are not present. So essentially, personal branding is how do you present yourself to the world? It's your professional reputation. And what we're going to do here today is craft a personal branding statement or figure out how to craft a personal branding statement. I love a quote by Jeff Bezos that is, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And I think that's really the quote that we should all hold ourselves to. And we're going to talk about how you can actually figure that out with an activity a little bit later on. But if you recognize a couple of really famous people and think about what they represent, then this will all make sense to you. So I want to talk about a couple of women that are very impressive in the world. Oprah, for example, represents empathy and empowerment. She is the epitome of understanding people and truly wanting to empower people in the world. Many of you know that she has a school in Africa that she sponsors, and she calls them all her girls, and she makes it a point to go to the school and be present and help the girls grow through into their adult lives. Another super prominent woman is Sheryl Sandberg. If you're not familiar with Sheryl Sandberg, she was the former chief operating officer for Meta, which is formerly known as Facebook. She has since left Facebook or Meta, but she is the epitome of leadership and advocacy for women in the workplace. And again, she makes it a point. She wrote the book Lean In. I think that was a turning point for so many women on how they were holding themselves back. There's a lot of anecdotes and stories in the book. So if you haven't read the book, this is a really good read for anybody that is trying to advance their careers in the corporate space. So what do these two women have in common? Well, they have a clear and compelling personal brand. And that is what differentiates them from the rest of the world. And of course, there's many other people that have the same big brands, such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, any of those big brands. They already have a personal brand that's long established. So for example, Nike is another really big personal brand, and their tagline is just do it. Everybody knows that it represents athletes in the world. So those are just brands that are in the products. So these are personality brands, whereas those are more product brands. Now, when you're thinking about starting to work on your personal brand, you really do need to identify your unique attributes and strengths. And one of the ways that I work with my clients is we do a skills assessment, and we actually go through, I give them a worksheet, and they go through their skills and identify their skills and how they are using them, how they want to use them, if they want to shift into another industry, another type of job, anything like that. And we also talk about showcasing your accomplishments, because it's really important to know your accomplishments and be able to talk about them as well. And then, of course, the big thing with your personal brand is that you want to be authentic, and you want to align your actions with your values and your goals. I know we've talked about core values in the past, but knowing your core values is so incredibly important. Understanding how, especially when you're trying to find a job and you're looking to get a job with a certain company, you need to make sure that you're looking through their website to see if they have their core values posted, because you want to make sure that your values are in line with their values. And one very simple and easy example that I always share, because it's just super easy to understand, is if you are into health, meaning that you want to be healthy, health is one of your core values, or your well-being is one of your core values, then more than likely you're not going to seek a position with a company that is a tobacco company, because you know that they know that their product causes cancer, and yet they still make it, they still distribute it, and they don't really care if it causes cancer or not. So you would not be seeking a job with a company like that, because your core values would not be aligned with their core values. So it is really important for you to understand what your core values are and make sure that they align with a company that you want to work with. So when you are trying to identify your unique attributes, you need to do a couple of activities. I would say, first of all, do the skills assessment. As I had mentioned before, the skills assessment, you will be assessing your knowledge skills, your transferable skills, your creative skills. And then once you have all those skills identified, you're going to rank them to see if you are proficient, or if you just moderately understand the uh, attribute, or the skill rather, and how often do you use, and if you want to use those skills in future future opportunities, what do you need to do to get better at those skills? So for example, if one of your things is to become very well versed in artificial intelligence, which everybody knows has exploded over the last year, 12, for 16 months, something like that, then you would need to take courses on artificial intelligence to get better at it. And the biggest thing about artificial intelligence is garbage in, garbage out. So the prompt that you put into ChatGPT or whatever artificial intelligence that you're using is really important for you to understand how you volley back and forth with the artificial intelligence so that you can actually get the things that you need. And there are tons and tons of courses out there. Some of them are free. I was just talking to an individual earlier today, and they got certified through a company, and it was a few $1,000s to get certified in AI. So it just depends what you're looking for. So that's one thing. You really need to identify your skills. You need to rank them and know what skills you're going to need for the job that you're looking for, and what you need to do to get better at those specific skills. So that's one thing that you're going to do. Another thing that you're going to need to do is get some feedback collection. And you can do this in a variety of ways. But one of the things that you can do is talk to the people that you already work with and let them know that you are trying to advance in your career and would like their honest feedback. You do need to preface the conversation with, I really need you to be honest with me. Please do not hold back, because I'm not going to know how people see me. And this is part of your personal brand. And another way that I talk about this is you are uncovering your blind spots. When you uncover your blind spots, you start seeing what you cannot possibly see for yourself, because there's no way that I can see myself the way my husband sees me, or my kids see me, or my coworkers, or my clients, because everybody has their own perspective, and how they receive me is very different. So if you are talking to the individual and you say, I really need your honest feedback so that I can get better, so that I can improve. So I am giving you permission to be blunt. Then they feel much more comfortable, because anytime you ask someone for feedback, they always feel uncomfortable giving you the feedback, especially if it's something that's not a positive thing. And you want to put the individual at ease by, again, giving them permission to give you that feedback. So that's really important. And then you ask them, please share with me some of the things that you have noticed or observed that I do really well. And another thing that you can do so that you're focused on the conversation is ask them for permission to record the conversation on your phone, because you're not going to remember everything, and you really can't be present if you're trying to take notes. If they say no, then yes, you're going to have to take notes. But if they say yes, go ahead and record it, then you are free to just be present with the other person and not worry about taking notes. So you're uncovering your blind spots. So you're asking them, what are things that I do well? And then you take those notes. And then you ask them, could you share with me 2 or 3 things that you think I could do better? And then when they tell you the 2 or 3 things, ask them, can you please share with me a little bit more? Where do you think I fell short? What do you think I could have done better? And do you have any specific examples on what you have observed? Because when you go back to specific examples that you've already done, that you've experienced, then you can kind of draw from what did you prepare? What did you do to prepare before you did let's just say it's a project. What did you do to prepare before? What was the delivery, what happened after, and then where you fell short. So if they just give you anecdotal feedback, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to figure out if you are going to if that information is going to be useful to you. So those are 2 things that you can do as activities. The first one was skills assessment, and the second one was feedback collection. Now, for the feedback collection, to me, there's kind of 2 levels of feedback collection that you can do. The first one is with your peers. With your peers, it's going to be much easier. And then the second one is with your manager and any senior leaders in the organization that you have worked with. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get feedback from people that you have not worked with. So you need to select people that you have had those project responsibilities, or maybe it's just a one-off thing and you want to ask them for their feedback. I think that's great. So again, so you can ask feedback from your peers, you can ask feedback for your manager and other senior leaders. And then the third thing of feedback collection, this is not maybe necessarily for your personal brand, but you can get advice from senior leaders that you have not worked with, and just kind of ask them, what has worked for you? What has made you successful in this organization? What is the advice that you can give me to continue to develop myself and continue to work on myself so that I can be ready for those opportunities. And as many of you know, if you listen to me in the past, I call that being promotion ready. So everything that we're doing here, especially in the Unlock the Leader Within membership, is getting you promotion ready. And there's many different things that you need to do to get there. And working on your personal brand is really, really important. So those are the 3 legs that I think you can do when it comes to feedback collection as an activity. Now, you're not going to be able to do it all in one day. You're going to have to plan it out. Maybe if you're working on the feedback collection over 8 weeks, maybe try to interview one person a week so that by the time the end of 8 weeks, you have 8 people that you have received feedback from, and that becomes a little bit more robust. So you can do a little bit more with 8 people instead of just 1 or 2 people's feedback. So that is part of the activity for the collection. Hey everyone, I am so excited to announce that the Unlock the Leader Within membership is finally launched and live. This segment is brought to you by our very own No Woman Left Behind. The Unlock the Leader Within membership was designed to empower you in your corporate career to advance your career with confidence. Confidence is so lacking these days. When you join the Unlock the Leader Within membership, you will gain the ability to become a high performer. You will have your custom career roadmap and more than anything. And the thing that's most exciting to me is that we will build an amazing community of like-minded, ambitious professional women that are there to help and support and learn from each other. This incredible membership is up and running, so check it out. Go ahead and scan the QR code over here, or if you're listening to this episode, go to the episode website and click on the Unlock the Leader Within membership to check it out. And now back to our episode. And then the next step, so all of that was under step 1, which is understanding your attributes. Now we're going to shift a little bit to step 2, which is building your personal brand. When you are crafting your personal brand, in my opinion, there's 3 things that need to go into your personal brand statement. Now, a lot of people may call it an elevator pitch. I don't really like to call it an elevator pitch because you're not pitching products, you're pitching yourself. So I prefer the personal brand statement. And there are 3 components that go into the personal brand statement. The first one is identity. The second component is value. And the third component is audience. And so with those 3 parts, you are able to put together a really nice statement that is simple and easy for you to tell people. So for example, my personal brand statement is, hi, I'm Rosie, and I empower women in the corporate world to advance their careers with intention and confidence. So I identified who I am, my identity. I identified who I help and how I help them. So as part of your identity, you want to showcase or just tell who you are and what is your professional role or expertise. And so that's fairly easy to do. So again, I'm Rosie, I empower women in the corporate world, and that is part of my identity. As far as value is, what do you bring to the table? What unique skills, strengths, or experiences do you offer? And so what I bring to the table as value is empowering women to advance their careers with intention and confidence. So that's the value that I'm providing. And so, think about that. what is it that you bring to the table? That's another question that you can ask the people that you're asking for feedback. Ask them, what is it that makes me unique? What is it that you think I do better than my peers? What is it that you think I have excelled at? So those are all great questions that you can bring to those feedback sessions that you're going to be having. So that's the value component. And then finally, the audience. Who do you serve or impact? Who benefits from your work? So again, for me, it's going to be women in the corporate space, but you can be in the insurance industry. So it just depends on what component of or what part of the company you're in. You could be in marketing, you could be in the uh, claims department, you can be in underwriting, you can be in operations, all of those components, you can be in finance. So all of those segments of the business, you're going to have a different customer. And it just depends on who you're working with. And so that person, your direct customer, may be your first customer, but there's always going to be a customer that is actually ultimately purchasing your product. So they are going to be their customers as well. So who benefits from your work, from the work that you do? That is going to be the audience that you are going to be identifying. And so when you are crafting your personal brand, you are going to put it all together in a formula. And the formula that you want to use is I am, and then you insert your name. And then the next part of the formula is I provide, and then you insert the value. And then finally, the last part of the formula is for the audience. So again, an example for me. Hi, I'm Rosie. I provide strategic career coaching and actionable insights for women in the corporate world looking to advance their careers. So that's slightly different than what I said earlier, which was, hi, I'm Rosie. I empower women in the corporate space to advance their careers with intention and confidence. So similar, but slightly different, but yet it still conveys the same message of my the identity, the value, and the audience. So those are the three things that you want to bring in there. So when you're crafting your personal statement, it will include identity plus the value plus the audience, and that is going to be what you are going to use as the formula to craft your personal brand statement. So I'm going to just share with you a few examples. And these are fictitious examples. They are not actual people that I have worked with, but these are really good because it tells you each, I will tell you each part of the formula, and then finally I will read the last statement. And I have 5 different examples because I thought it would be good to have a variety. Okay, so the first one is for a project manager. So the identity is project manager. The value is that they efficiently streamline processes and drive successful project completion. The audience is for tech startups looking for operational excellence. So the statement could be something like, I am a project manager who efficiently streamlines processes and drives successful project completion for tech startups seeking operational excellence. So that is example number 1. Example number 2 is for a financial analyst. So the identity is financial analyst. The value is deliver insightful financial analysis and strategic planning. And then the audience is for mid-sized companies aiming to optimize their financial performance. So the statement would be something like, I am a financial analyst who delivers insightful financial analysis and strategic planning for mid-sized companies aiming to optimize their financial performance. So that is example number 2. Okay, moving right along. Example number 3 is for the identity is a marketing specialist. The value is they create impactful digital marketing campaigns that boost brand visibility. And then the audience is for e-commerce businesses wanting to expand their online presence. So the statement is, I am a marketing specialist who creates impactful digital marketing campaigns that boost brand visibility for e-commerce businesses looking to expand their online presence. So that is example 3. We have 2 more examples here. Example number 4. The identity is for a human resources manager. The value is that they foster a positive and productive work environment. And the audience is for corporations focused on employee engagement and retention. So then the statement becomes, I am a human resources manager who fosters a positive and productive environment for corporations focused on employee engagement and retention. So that is example number 4. And then finally, we have example number 5, which is a software developer. So the value is that they develop innovative and user-friendly software solutions. The audience is for healthcare providers seeking to improve patient care through technology. So the statement is, I am a software developer who creates innovative and user-friendly software solutions for healthcare providers looking to enhance patient care through technology. That is the 5th and then the final example. And so now it is your turn. I want you to take this formula, which again, when you're creating your personal brand statement, you are using the identity, the value, and the audience. Now, my personal brand statement said, I am Rosie, but it could also say, I am a career coach that empowers women in the corporate space to advance their careers with intention and confidence. So it could also be, I am a career coach providing strategic and actionable insights for women in the corporate world seeking to advance their careers. So play around with different types of personal brand statements. And here is the beauty about all of this. You can use ChatGPT, which is super easy to use, and there is a free version to help you figure out. So here is what I would do if I were you. Don't start from a blank piece of paper because it's really hard. I would say this is how I would approach how you could do your personal branding statement. Take your phone and record what is it that you do. So talk into your phone, say who you are, say what you do, and say who you do it for. So again, that identity, the value, and the audience. So talk it out, then take that transcript and you can throw that into ChatGPT and then talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, and remember with artificial intelligence, the prompt, which is what you type in and what you're asking it to do, is really critical. So you can say, hey, ChatGPT, I am working on creating my personal brand statement. And then you can copy and paste the transcript that you did, that you recorded, and you can say, I need you to help me identify the identity, the value, and the audience. And then you can say, help me create my personal branding statement with this formula. And then put in personal brand statement equals identity plus value plus audience. And then another thing that I am doing pretty much every single time that I'm using ChatGPT is ask me any questions that you have before providing me with the results. And then it'll ask me 2 or 3 questions, and then I answer them, and then it proceeds to giving me the answer. If you don't like and actually, let me just take that back. You should never accept the first answer that ChatGPT gives you. You should always go back and say, refine this, or remember that I am in the insurance industry and that I deal with the customers that are purchasing the insurance, but my customer's an inside customer, so it would be an internal employee. So give it more information the more information you give it, the better it is. And then go back and forth with ChatGPT. Make sure that your personal brand statement is in your own words and in your own voice, because you don't want to create a personal brand statement that is not using words that you would use. So for example, if you never use, just pulling something out of the air, the word sophisticated, you don't want to say I am a sophisticated insurance professional, because that's not going to sound or feel good to you. You want to make sure that whatever result you're getting from ChatGPT feel good to you. So that is a big trick with ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence, because now there's thousands of AI applications out there. I highly recommend for you to take the time to create your personal branding statement, because it's going to be really important for you to have a statement that you can go out and feel really good about when you are doing networking events, or if you do meet somebody on an impromptu basis at work, you can say, that statement, and it should, pretty much roll off your tongue. It should be really easy. The more you practice it, the more it becomes super easy for you to say it. And I can say, again, hi, I'm Rosie. I empower women in the corporate space to advance their careers with intention and confidence. So it's just kind of like it becomes second nature when you've said it so many times, because I go to a lot of networking events. So I say that quite often. But again, your personal branding should be how you represent yourself in the world. It's going to be your professional reputation. And the objective here was to create a clear and compelling personal brand. Now, when we're talking about company brands or business brands, it may come down to choosing a font, choosing a color palette, choosing a logo, but you don't need to do any of that when you're working for a company, because you're already working for the company. So you don't need to go through all those steps. But you do still need to have that clear and compelling personal brand of how you want people to see you. And it's just important for you to be able to, whenever you have interviews, to tell people what you've done also, and watch the language that you use. Make sure that the language is really positive, powerful, and strong. So I hope that this episode or that this session has helped you with how to create your personal brand, because it is so important as part of your whole human experience within the corporate world. If you have any questions about the Unlock the Leader Within, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Please let me know if there's anything that I can answer for you. You can always email me at rosie@nowomanleftbehind.com. And with that, I hope that this session was very helpful to you. Remember to be brave, be bold, and take action.